Guys, today we're gonna be reacting to one of Cubing's videos. Very big credit to him, and this is no association with my channel. Let's get started. So it's apparently about Roblox legends who went missing. Let's check it out.
Imagine being adored by millions online.
I wish this was me.
Only to abandon them
Oh,
forever.
that's very bad
Not,
to do it.
many Roblox players spent years building up their name,
Yeah,
only to vanish at the height of it all.
that's
and for
really
reasons
bad.
you might not expect. So, to find out why they did this and where they could be, we need to dive into their full stories one by one.
Yeah, we should check
Starting
this
with
out.
Azoo557free. An average kid who joined Roblox for the very first time.
This person being famous and successful, I don't know. Let's continue.
Ready for the wonderful adventures that'll... what are you guys doing here?
Oh my gosh, it's Azoo!
Azoo, please friend me.
What?
No way I got in your server!
No way, I met you.
Hold up, why are you crowding this innocent player? Wait,
What?
what's that music?
What the hell?
Well, I guess that explains
he's
it. Turns out this random kid
he or
is the
she
billionth
is
Roblox
the
user,
billionth
which was pretty big for the entire community,
Wow.
and especially for Azoo.
So sick.
Azoo loved all the attention she was getting. Well, at least for the time being. After a
Whoa.
while, she noticed how valuable her account truly was. Literally a once-in-a-lifetime
super cool.
chance. She couldn't possibly let anyone ruin it. So to be safe, she cleared her friends
Yeah, that's
list. But
probably a
despite
great
that,
decision.
players still kept pestering her for obvious reasons.
I no longer be accepting friends. At all.
Yeah, surely your sacred
Yeah,
account
yeah,
will be
yeah.
safe now. Right? Well, even with this warning, a player somehow stalked Azoo in a game and filmed it. Except she was acting a little bit off.
I have to tell you something depressing.
Yeah, that's
Don't say this
very
to anyone.
creepy.
It's time to investigate. The video's title says Azoo got password guessed, a form of getting hacked. Her worst fear. That's a pretty bold claim, so we need at least two pieces of
Yeah.
evidence. After she acted weird, Azoo, or who we think is Azoo, was asked,
How'd
you get into the account?
and answered with,
I just got the password.
so someone may have guessed her password and logged into the
Oh
account.
no.
So, you're not the real Azoo?
I hate to say it, but she could have
What's
been
that
hacked by someone
voice?
who's jealous. But, at the same time, she could have easily lied to get people away from her. She did want to protect her account. I mean, that's something a normal kid would do, right? Well, we're forgetting a major piece of the puzzle. Her Roblox game, or her home, as she says. In this game, you would expect something normal, considering she's an average player. I think. But if we join her game for 10 seconds... Yeah, this doesn't match up. Yeah, I'm out. With all this evidence, it's safe to say she just got hacked. But strangely enough, the creepy game was made on the exact day she joined Roblox. This may seem small, but it makes the story a lot darker. You see, if she was acting normal the entire time, how can she possibly make a game this scary right when she joined? This could mean one of two things. Either one, Azoo is a pretty disturbing kid.
What is that face? And why is she in the back rooms? What?
Okay, probably not. Or two, she was immediately hacked right as she
Yeah,
joined
no,
without even
that's
knowing.
very
Thankfully,
bad.
there's one more piece of evidence I forgot. The guy in the video from before also stated Azoo logged out of her account for a whole month after she joined. Theoretically, she could have logged out after making the account, only for someone else to hack in and make the creepy game, without her knowing, of course. And after a month, she logged back in and realized she was famous. So she took safety measures, only for her to get hacked again, as seen in this video. So from that point on, she's been exiled out of her special account for half a decade. The situation is honestly really sad. She's just an innocent kid who happened to be the billionth user. So lots of bad apples took data away. To this day, we don't know where she is or what she's up to. So let's hope our next story ends off on a happier note. Unlike a zoo, Ripple didn't join as some legendary player with everyone crowding him. In fact, he joined in 2008, one of Roblox's deadest times. But for Ripple, Roblox was a sandbox game, a canvas for creativity, and he wouldn't let his time stop him from creating something great. So with the help of his loyal brother, they began to work on game after game, with the goal of making something out of this small platform. But since it was 2009, none of them really...
Pause. I have to get a bit hydrated. Okay. Always get hydrated, people. That's good for you.
surfaced. However, that's when an idea hit him.
What if I took inspiration from a bigger game than Roblox?
This is the PS1, a legendary game console with one of its biggest games being Destruction Derby, which he was a pretty big fan of. With this fun idea, Ripple morphed it into a brand new game, Roblox Derby. The game was simple. You spawn with a car, and your only goal is to crash into as many people as possible. This gives you points to level up your car. For legal reasons, I must clarify that this isn't Roblox. Well, for some odd reason, players found satisfaction out of vehicular assault,
I have a bulldozer!
causing the game to reach 7 million visits, which at the time converted to 700,000 Robux. A nice motivation to keep things going. By doing something that works and something you love, you're destined to succeed as long as you keep going at it. But as time went on, he noticed that other games beat him in competition.
Okay, yeah,
But being the
that's
dedicated
bad for
dev he
him.
was, he used his money to grind out a new game. But unlike all the other games, this one had way more potential. It was way ahead of its time, but to fully understand how, let's compare it to a modern game, Star Rail Simulator, the sponsor of this video.
Oh,
Similarly
we're
to
gonna
Ripple,
skip
the owner was inspired by
this.
video games. It's not a surprise that the game quickly did numbers. The games were all
Oh,
simple,
that's really
so people
good.
outside of Roblox
Good
noticed
for
it,
him.
and especially Roblox himself, which shows you why it's important.
Whoa,
But back to
the
our modern
other
game.
was
Unlike most simulators, the game
No. No.
to get 50.
Oh, still. There.
So got obsessed with the various different minigames it had to offer. Overnight, the game was hitting record numbers. Ripple was thriving, players were playing, and even Roblox himself was happy. With the game bringing life to the platform, this seems like the start of an incredible journey. But during all the success, one player in particular was heavily inspired and thought,
Surely I can make my own version of
Oh,
this.
just like how Ripple was inspired by Destruction
That's
Derby,
probably
Typical
not
was
that
inspired
good.
by Ripple minigames. It's a beautiful cycle. So a few weeks later, he made Epic Minigames, a near
Oh,
perfect
no.
replica of Ripple's, except with better maps, better game modes, and better marketing. Now that I say it, it seems kind of threatening to Ripple's game.
Oh
But
no.
let's not be negative. I'm sure they'll totally coexist in harmony. Despite their competition, both games grew at the exact same speed, except Epic Minigames was more frequent with updates. Every week they added more creative
That's
minigames,
bad.
which even the Roblox staff really loved.
These devs seem dedicated. We should include them in our official events.
So in June of that year, Epic Minigames had its first
Oh, no.
event where players get a special item from playing the minigames. This was a genius move because Roblox back then was getting tons and tons of new players, and the minigames themselves
That's
were easy
bad.
to understand. This did wonders for Epic Minigames, so a few months later, Roblox included them in another event. Nutter, and wait, I feel like we're missing something. Isn't this video supposed to be about...
you're missing
Oh. After all the support, Epic Minigames assembled a way bigger team, leaving Ripple in the dust. So he passed his crown and quietly
bad.
moved on.
Bye bye.
But he was far from done. Just like his first success,
Oh.
he took inspiration from another one of his favorite games, Rust, a multiplayer survival game. The idea was pretty simple, so with his small team, they made a whole new group called Rovive, spent a year passionately working on the
That's
map
a good
and weapons,
comeback.
with the hopes of this game finally
Like,
getting...
actually, not like
Aw, come
with
on.
roasts.
You may be wondering how a guy Roblox loves got banned.
Oh no.
Well, this began when a fan made their own group inspired by him. But the group in question made a game completely ripping off Pokemon.
Oh,
Roblox thought it was Ripple's
that's
group
bad.
and punished him instead. Attempt after attempt, Ripple angrily tried to get his stuff back, but to no avail. But after days of pestering, he got his account back, but he saw the platform in a different light. Ever since, he was getting less and less active with his
Oh,
game
no.
until he completely disappeared. If you go to his main game, it's still up, but his profile is completely banished. Perhaps Roblox banned him again, but if you go to his Twitter, he says he's permanently retired. People claimed this was because he allegedly scammed his team for Rovive, which could explain a lot. With all this spreading
Yeah,
around
that's
and
bad.
his throne being taken, it's honestly kinda sad. But a clue he left behind caught me off guard. According to a
What
website
is
that
that?
saves data, Ripple states he's no longer enjoying Roblox and only wants money. So these issues really killed his passion,
That's
causing
bad.
him to focus more on life. But either way, after pioneering a new type of game, helping with huge events, and bringing life to the platform, he's definitely made his mark. So let's hope he inspired the new generation to do
Yeah,
the
that
same.
would be better.
Well, we're in luck, because our next player might do just that. Just like Ripple, he's driven, dedicated, and determined to make Roblox games. 'Cause
Oh,
years
I think
before,
that's
he's been a
Decabox.
fan of them, but none of them truly stood out. So, he wanted to be as different as possible with his games.
Oh,
To make
yeah.
myself
it's
and Decabox more clear, let's investigate his earliest game.
Live in Paradise.
The game
It's
was
so good.
simple. You can morph into a baby, teen, adult, then do whatever your heart tells you to. What can possibly go wrong? On the surface,
Yeah, a
this
lot
seems
of
like another plain, boring roleplay game.
But didn't you just say he's different?
Quiet. Cause here's
Oh.
where the twist comes in. Unlike most of these devs, Decabox was brave enough to give another player, Albert, admin, who just so happens to be
Yeah.
the biggest Roblox
Flamingo.
YouTuber. With this special power, Albert used it to do some pretty nice things.
I just want to break the server for them because I don't think they should be playing right now.
Okay, maybe not so nice. But with the game's nonchalant nature and Albert's excessive trolling, players were on the edge of their seats. He also added a game pass for admin commands, and as Decabox expected, his viewers crowded the game. Quickly, his basic roleplay game became a haven for experiments, like griefing, spying,
What?
and abusing.
Just die, dude.
But it's all in good fun, and it brought life to Decabox's hard work, and especially his other roleplay games. Despite the money he made, that didn't matter at all to him. What actually mattered was people having fun in the games he made, and he was especially thankful for Albert helping him out. But every action always has an equal force against it. Okay, in
I'm sorry
simple
about that,
terms,
son.
the more players the game had, the more it got pushed on Roblox. Since the game was a roleplay game, a lot of online daters found it and used it for questionable
yeah,
activities,
that's what
which
I
made it
wanted to
impossible for
understand.
normal players to have fun. Oh, and not to mention, this happens in every one of his roleplay games. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Everyone thought Decabox was responsible for this. In retaliation, trolls infested his game with bots and framed Decabox for doing it.
That's really bad.
And just like with Ripple, Roblox believed he actually did it and banned his account, which locked this group that had all his games. Reasonably, he was upset, very upset in fact, not because his group had 3 million Robux, but because he worked so hard to build it and no amount of money can get it back. But after getting support from his fans and the biggest YouTubers, he was determined to pick up where he left. So right away, he made a new account named Decapad. Thankfully, he saved some games in an RBX file and was able to re-upload them. But players still found it and reported him. Although he was mad at this, it didn't stop him from making new accounts.
What if we try this one more time but have the games and group under a different name?
That's actually brilliant. No way the mods will detect it.
There is a...
No. Surely there must be more to this than online daters.
Yeah,
Players must have found worse reasons to report him. Because the ban reason says he sold Robux for real money. A massive violation of the rules.
What?
But according to Decabox, all he did was trade his friend expensive items, but Roblox thought he sold it for real money.
Would he be selling the limited if he ends up getting them back? I don't think so.
Even after proving his case, the admin still did nothing.
Unban Decabox!
He didn't do anything.
He doesn't deserve this.
Ban after ban, he lost more and more hope. Until... you get the picture. But instead of dwelling on the negative, we should all be happy with what he tried to do. In the short span of a year, he kickstarted the biggest Roblox series for millions to enjoy, paved the way for current roleplay games, and made a living off of Roblox, and especially for others. Enough to enjoy his retirement and live his life to the fullest, so we shouldn't let trolls take that thought away. Although we don't know where he is now, I think it's best to respect his privacy and honor him as a person, and let him move on to a new chapter of his life. But doesn't that make you realize these free players had a lot going for them, but because of that, players mistreated them without giving them a chance to speak for themselves, driving them off the platform. No matter how rich, famous, or beloved someone is, there's always a person behind that screen with real emotions. Which is why for my next video, I'll be interviewing the richest Roblox players, not just to find their secrets, but to understand and relate to them as human beings like you and me. So if you don't want to miss it, please...
Anyways, this was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, bye guys. Oh, sorry.